So thank you so much. We know some of you will have to leave and some of you will be able to stay for Q&A. But what we want you to remember is that there's a lot that you can do. We are leaving a book with your librarian about things that you can do. And there's much that can be done, and we hope that you will agree that when we use our lives for something that is bigger than ourselves, to use our lives to create a positive change in the world, our lives gain in meaning and experience. Please remember this day, and I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you choose to have children, your children will learn about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and you will be able to say to them, I met survivors from Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and this is what they told me, and that is why we live. Hopefully by the time you have children, if you choose to, we will have achieved, with all of our help and energy, a world free of nuclear weapons.
Yeah, to survivors, how long did it take you to recover mentally and physically?
何年今どのくらいと言われても私は分かりませんが、私は常にあの時に亡くなられたことは、亡くなられた方のことは今でも常に思い出しています。だからこそこうしてあの人のためにあなたたちの犠牲をお話を続けているのです。いつも思いながらお話をしています。
It's a very difficult question to respond to as far as how long it would take, because to this day I still remember all of the people that died in vain, and that's the reason why I continue to tell my story in hopes that that will never happen again. So in a sense, perhaps I haven't fully recovered yet.
回復するには時間は放射能とかあるいはその精神的な障害というのは時間がかかりますね。
If you have been damaged by radiation, it takes an extremely long time to recover. In fact, you might not recover because it's always in your body. And the psychological trauma also takes extremely long time, years and years, to recover from.
私の兄が3人ががんになった。これは年を取ってがんになったのか、または放射能によってがんになったかっていうのははっきりしないけれど、放射能の影響を受けているということは間違いないです。
The fact that my three brothers all got cancer, it's a complex thing to think about because lots of people get cancer as they get older. So we can't say precisely that this is because of your exposure that you got cancer, but it's highly correlated. So we certainly can't say it wasn't. I don't know if that's a good answer.
私が思うのは、被爆者の人と皆さんとお話してて思うのは、原爆を体験して肉体が傷つく部分と心が傷つく部分とあると思います。
In response to this question, I personally believe that there is obviously physical damage as well as damage within the psychological damage.
そして、放射線によって傷つくという部分でいうと、放射線は体の中に入って細胞を壊してしまうんですね。
And the radiation effects. The radiation attacks the cells inside of your body.
そしてその壊された細胞がいつ病気を起こすか、がんになるかというのはわからないんです。
And so the cells are broken inside of your body, which also means you never know when you're going to get sick or something's going to happen.
ですから一生その不安を抱え続けなければならないんですね。
And so you have to live the rest of your life in fear of what may happen.
そしてもう一つの心の傷は先ほど山田さんがお話しされたように、本当に言えることは一生ないかもしれません、こちらも。
And finally, especially the same thing as what Reiko-san just said, is that maybe we will never be able to recover from what actually happened.
でもたくさんの皆さんをはじめたくさんの皆さんと一緒になってもし核兵器をこの世界からなくすことができれば、同じ体験をもう誰もすることがないようになれば心の傷というのは少し癒えていくのではないかと思います。
But then if everybody here and everybody else in the world stand together and fight so that we can create a world that has no more nuclear weapons, then perhaps after that we will all be able to heal.
だからこそ皆さんにも、平和な世界を作りたい、核兵器のない世界を作りましょうというメッセージを受け取っていただきたいと思います。
And so I would personally like to ask each and every one of you to take in our message towards working together for a nuclear-free world and peace. What was your thought when it was first dropped?
初めて訪れた時ですか、何が何だか分かりませんでした。それが正直な話です。でその後も街の様子などを見て、これは大変な爆弾だったんだなと、街中が大変だったんだなということが気がついて、それから毎日毎日大変な様子を見ながらその爆弾のすごさを感じてきました。
In the immediate aftermath of when the bomb was dropped, we were all confused, wondering and not knowing exactly what had happened. And then later on, we see all of the horrendous things. The whole city was in array. So from thereafter, we continue to have to see how atrocious this nuclear weapon is.
私の場合は勉強したいでた時に爆弾が落ちた。その瞬間はわからないけど近くに爆弾が落ちたと思いました。
In my case, as I told you, I was doing homework when it dropped, and my first thought was that a bomb had dropped nearby, like a regular bomb, as opposed to the kind that they were using all the time.
私は今の質問に直接答えることはできませんけども、少し補足をしたいと思います。
Although I'm unable to actually respond to that question directly, I'd like to add something.
当時核兵器っていうのがあるっていうこともほとんどの人は知らなかった。そしてそれがどんなものかっていうのは誰も知らなかったわけですね、日本に住んでいた人は。
At that time, there was nobody that knew what a nuclear weapon was, much less that there was any such type of weapon.
そしてそれがどんな被害を及ぼすものかということは、先ほどガリーさんの話にあったように、なるべく外にそのデータ、情報が出ないように、されていました。
And such as Michio-san mentioned earlier, the effects, and Reiko-san mentioned earlier, the effects of what happens afterwards was not released because we had a press code for 12 years.
実は核兵器が人間に何をするのか、どういう被害を影響を与えるのかということは今も世界中にあまり知られていません。
To this day, there is not much data or information for the entire world as to how the radiation affects the body or may attack the body.
放射線のことは何も分からずに、ただ大きい爆弾だと思っている人が世界中にたくさんいます。
There are so many people in this world that think that the nuclear weapon is just a big or huge bomb, not that it has the radiation, how dangerous that is.
核兵器が落とされた後に生き残っている人がいるっていうことを知らない人たちもいます。
There are so many people as well in the entire world that do not know that there are survivors of the atomic bomb.
でも広島長崎に来て、そして学者の皆さんの話を聞いて、そしていろいろな情報を得ることで、これは人間にとっては不必要なものだということを多くの人が知ることができます。
And so by people coming to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and finding and seeing and gathering all of this information, that's the best way for people to understand that, okay, maybe this is an unnecessary weapon in this world.
ですから皆さんにもぜひ広島長崎に来ていただきたいんですが、それが無理だったとしても、どんなことがあったのかという事実を、知ろうとする努力をぜひしてほしいと思っているんです。
And of course, we would love for each and every one of you to visit us in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But if that's impossible, we plead for you to actually go and research and pick up as much information as you can so that you will know what you can do to help the future.
そして私たちにこんなものが必要なのかっていうことを自分で考えてほしいんです。
And think about whether or not we need or do not need these weapons.
今日のお二人の話がその機会になることを願っています。
And it is my strong desire that you hearing the Hibakusha's testimonies today will spark something inside of you so that you will carry that on. Mayor Toei, it's been such a pleasure to have you and Reiko-san, Michio-san, Clifton, Truman, Daniel, and also Elizabeth and Marie for this fantastic program that you all have shared together. And students, those of you that have to leave, we will say goodbye to you, and those of you who can stay, we'll do a short Q&A, but we'd really also like to thank you, the students, for your excellent attention and for taking part in this session today, and Ms. Teresa Taglioni for organizing this whole event. Teresa,